Welcome to the Bernard Lee Poker Show. We are talking with a six-time bracelet winner, Hall of Famer, Kid Poker himself, Daniel Negreanu. Daniel, wanted to talk about your recent signing with GGPoker, and of course we want to talk about the series that's going on during the entire month of May. But let's talk about GGPoker first. How has it been so far as the ambassador for them?
Loving it. Honestly, I couldn't complain if I tried. I mean, things have been really, really good. I have a good relationship with the people involved. Super pumped. Like when I first saw the software, I was like, damn, this is unbelievable. And I've had a lot of people who, who tried it out, some industry people, and they were blown away too. They're like, wow, this is way better than expected, especially the mobile client. Like the mobile client is head and shoulders above anything else you'll find anywhere else. And the whole goal really behind the software and everything was to make things interactive and fun, right? Because remember how people talk about like making poker fun again? Well, they've done that with the bells and whistles. Like you can rabbit hunt, you can squeeze your cards. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do within the software. And as far as the marketing aspect goes, before I'd signed on, that was probably the one area that they didn't spend a lot of time on, but they thrived anyway because people played on it and had such a good experience on itself. So I've been really diving in, and it's been fun to sort of take a company or to help see a company go from here and just like continue to ascend. And we're getting more and more momentum. The GG Masters, which was like sort of my baby, if you will, because I love freeze outs and we wanted our Sunday major to be something special. So there's like a big carrot at the top of a $500,000 GG sponsorship. It's a $150 buy-in, which is reasonable for people, and no re-entry. In addition to that, which is a cool feature as well, if you sign up on time, you get bubble protection. So let's say there's 2,000 players in the event. If you're 5 out of the money and you bust, you get your buy-in back for nothing. You just get it back. So they offer that bubble protection for those that show up on time. And overall, I mean, it's just been really, really great to see a lot of people trying out the site, giving it a shot, and staying and loving it. And so I'm super stoked. It's also to be associated with the World Series of Poker, which is like my favorite thing ever. I have posters in my house from 1970 World Series, and to see, the brand of World Series with GGPoker kind of combining to create this series with 18 ring events. I mean, I couldn't be a happier boy with all that.
Yeah, let's talk about this. It's incredible. This series is running from May 3rd to May 31st, so obviously the entire month of May. And the GGPoker series is now WSOP Super Circuit Online Series. It has 18 ring events, but for everyone there, it's not just that. It is 595 events. That's right. I'm not misreading this. It is numerous events, all buy-in levels, over $100 million in guaranteed prize pool money. Incredible. The first online series that will break the 9-figure barrier. And of course, as we talked about, it'll have the World Series Circuit ring events as well. It'll give away a seat to the Global Casino Championship for the main event winner and also the series points leader, very similar to other World Series Circuit events as well. How did this come about? Because obviously this wasn't on the schedule prior.
Well, yeah. So obviously, I've always had a good relationship with the people at the World Series of Poker. Someone that we brought into the company that works in marketing, sort of heading up the that sort of aspect of it. A guy you may remember from Wicked Chops.
Of course.
Chops is on board. So Chops has been really helping, and Chops as well also had a really good relationship with the people at the World Series of Poker. So it was really just like a natural fit. We're like, this is a win-win here, right? We get to be associated with an elite, prestigious brand that's been around since 1970. And they get something out of this too, because they get to access our software, which, as I said, I think is like cutting above the absolute best software for online poker, period. And I would have that debate with anybody. I feel like I could say that safely and comfortably. So it's a real win-win for everybody involved. And GG's been really aggressive with their guarantees. I mean, the GG Masters, like, it started out as 250,000. We missed it, and they kicked it up to 300. I'm like, you guys are nuts. And then, they miss it again. They kick it up to 400. I was like, what's happening right now? Now it's 500,000. We finally hit the guarantee, and they're probably going to continue to kick it up. Who knows? But it's been really great to see. They have a very similar mindset in terms of, how to do online poker right. And that's to focus on the fun experience and to focus on the majority player, not the minority player necessarily. making sure that like people are actually having fun. If that means some gambling, formats that are quick paced or whatever, if that's what the masses want to play, you give them what they want. There's always going to be, great tournaments to play. There's going to be cash games, but unless you have more bells and whistles, it's tough to compete now in a world of entertainment that not only are there online sites, you're competing against. You're competing against Candy Crush, Fortnite, like all these other different games. So you have to keep people engaged, and GG Poker does a really good job of that.
So with regards to GG Poker, now where you can play this, unfortunately you can't play this in the United States because, of course, it is not a regulated. Is GG Poker looking to at least enter the markets that are available for the United States?
Well, no question about it. GG Poker is always looking to expand and enter new markets, and the United States is obviously no different. New Jersey, Nevada, those are two big fish. Now, these things take time,
sure,
right? So the process for, requiring asking for a license, getting vetted, the whole deal. But I feel like we're on a fast track, and hopefully, I can play here from Nevada, because it does suck to not be able to. I mean, my plan was to stream, before this whole COVID thing.
Sure.
I was going to fly to Toronto, stream Sundays, every Sunday or every other Sunday, and, kind of help promote the site. Luckily, we have guys like Elke on board now, Felipe Ramos, Boris Becker.
That's right.
Right now. So we do have a good group of guys who are streaming the site, showing off all the bells and whistles and the different formats that we have.
For those people who have heard Elke, obviously, WSOP superstar, and Boris Becker, former Hall of Famer tennis player, who has really embraced the game over several years and really enjoys it. I know he talks about poker a lot, right?
Oh, no, we've been teammates in the past, and like he doesn't just play poker because he's supposed to, because he's got a sponsorship thing. Like,
right,
he wants to be good.
Yeah.
And you find that with a lot of athletes, a lot of guys who play professionally at whatever it is, when they come to poker, they don't come with a very nonchalant attitude. They come with like that same sort of killer mentality of wanting to improve and be the best they can be.
Right. No, 100%. And you saw it, over the years, we've seen a lot of athletes who are playing, the Paul Pierces, the actors like Kevin Hart, Sergio Garcia. We've seen Richard Seymour, who has been pretty successful in his own right, having a deep run in the World Series main event. So you see a lot of these athletes, of course, utilize that competitive drive. Alex Foxen was a former football player at BC and utilizing that drive. Talking a little bit more about GG Poker, one of the things that I really like about it is that the first World Series ring event, which is going on today, May 3rd, is for the COVID charity, $1,111 buy-in. They $111 is going to the COVID charity itself. Can you talk a little bit more about that event?
Yeah, no, this isn't the first time that GG's done this. Recently, when we had the High Roller Series with $10 million in guarantees, GG matched half percent of the prize pool was taken out for for university. It's a Toronto-based group that's fighting against sort of like fighting to try to find vaccines and do everything related to that. So it's not surprising to me that they're continuing that initiative. We sent a $100,000 check during that series, and they're going to continue to do that for this series. So it's one of those weird things where you want to do good, but you don't want people to think like, oh, you're just doing good for, to get some like positive PR, right? But I know the people behind this, and they generally thought this was a good idea, and they wanted to do it because they believe in it, and they believe that obviously, it's important for us to give back. And that's the one thing that GG does really, really well with their reward system. Typically, with the guarantees, the high reward system, they don't mind putting some spend in order to give back.
Sure. Obviously, the GG. What are the games primarily? Of course, No Limit Hold'em, but what other games are available on GG Poker?
So GG Poker, obviously, No Limit Hold'em is one. Pot Limit Omaha. If you look for high stakes Pot Limit Omaha, you will find that GG sort of has the corner on the market in that regard. And then in addition to that, the other game that's become really popular, especially because GG Poker is very popular, in the Asian community, and so is Short Deck. So we have Short Deck as well. We also have a really fun format called Spin and Gold, where you sort of set your own challenges, where you can, challenge yourself for each like first, second, or third. You get an amount of gold. Okay, So if you say, you can set how difficult you want the challenge to be. You want an easy challenge, you say, okay, it's time limit 1 hour. I have to accumulate 100 gold, and I get back like 20% rake back, if you will. Or you can set a more challenging one over 8 hours. You get to decide yourself. And you also get insurance on these. And it's a familiar format, right? There's 3 people, in a sit and go where there is a spin. So, you could be playing for, a large sum of money, or you could be playing for sort of like the 2x, right? Well, you can insure against the 2x. So you can actually buy insurance against the 2x. So if you play in a $20 one, you buy insurance, it ends up on the 40, you get your money back, you free roll, and now you just try to accumulate gold. So if you are trying to hit goals, it makes sense sometimes to take insurance. If you're not playing for gold, I would suggest probably not taking the insurance, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it otherwise. But yeah, those are the main games that we focus on. There's a whole bunch of other little side ones as well, but we haven't really ventured out yet into any sort of mixed game formats. I think that's one of the things that you have to build critical mass before you have before it makes a lot of sense to kind of overcomplicate the lobby. We want the lobby to be very simple, very user friendly, the interface to be easy. People go, okay, that's my game, that's what I want to play. Boom, click and go.
Right. So some of the other things that are interesting with regards to it is the all-in and fold. Talk a little bit about that. I have played this all-in and fold a tournament a few times. Run Good Poker Series has done these, and they're a lot of fun. They're very interesting, to say the least.
I call them like crack cocaine style poker, right? Because obviously you're not making complicated decisions. You're not getting check raised on the river. You're starting with 10 big blinds. It's a shove fest. You're just gambling and having fun. And for me, when I'm blowing off steam, like my favorite format to play is all in or fold, and just get the gamble on.
Right.
And try to hit big, try to run it up in spots like that. They also have the bingo board, where it's really cool. Like again, it's a bingo board where, let's say within 50 hands, you have to get, there's a card, say the Jack of Diamonds, King of Spades, Queen of Clubs, 4 of Clubs, right? Now you have to play a hand with one of those cards.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You got the B. So now if you get the bingo, you win all the added prizes in association with that. Right. So it's definitely obviously it's not intense professional poker. It's not somewhere I would say, if you want to make a good living, go play yourself some all in or fold. Obviously that's not going to be, a good investment for you to do if you're a professional just trying to win money. But if you're looking to have fun, which is exactly what the site's about, they are a lot of fun to play, and they're really, really fast-paced.
Yeah, like you said, there's very few decisions, right? There's the call decision. It's either shove or you're folding. So it's definitely a fun thing. And then also the other thing that I really found interesting looking at their website was the staking platform, which is a little unique. Obviously, we've seen staking sites that are separate from online sites that stake not only for online but also for live. But you have a staking platform itself on GG. Talk about that. That's very unique to a site.
Yeah, that's not even a little unique. That's completely unique. It is mind-blowing. And so I want to start by telling the story of sort of how I sort of got in connection with GG Poker. And it all happened when I was selling pieces, for fans to the World Series of Poker packages. And we had a snafu where the first day the site crashed. I was told everything would be fine. A few days later, we went up. We oversold. I was selling like 375,000. We sold 1.8 million in 15 minutes. Right. So we had an insane issue on our hands. And the people at GG, they reached out to us and they said, guys, we do this. This is our thing. Like we can help you and do this for you at no cost. And I thought, well, wow, this is really, really kind of them and a great olive branch. Maybe their goal was to start a relationship, whatever the case may be, with their staking site. So they did such a smash up job. They did such an amazing job putting that together that I ended up meeting with them and really falling in love with what they were thinking about doing with the staking site. And then when I realized you can do it within the client when you buy into an online tournament, and then you get to see, like, let's say you don't want to play, you don't have time to play the GG Masters, Bernard, but you can go in the client and you can go, oh, this guy's selling at 1.08. Let me check his ROI. Well, his ROI is 1.13. This has got to be a good buy. Or maybe you take a gamble because you can see all their stats. If you're going to buy or sell, you're going to sell, your stats are going to be available to people. They can see, whether or not you're making a good buy or not. So really a cool sort of like economy and a market for players, for guys who are Twitch streaming. If you're a Twitch streamer, right, you want your fans engaged, what better way than to sell them 1% of yourself within the client? And then the money, boom, instantly disperses. It's the smart contract, essentially. So when I saw that, I thought, man, they really get it. Like maybe the $150 buy in GG Master is a little too much for you. Well, maybe you only want to put up 50 or 75. Sell half yourself. Hopefully people buy it up, and you give yourself a real good opportunity. So the staking thing is just really, really cool. Gets more people involved, and it just makes the player fields bigger. And again, it's just like, it's a lot of fun. I've always believed that the one thing we're missing in poker, as far as a spectator sport, if you will, is what we have for the NFL and golf and all these things, is the ability to bet on it. Right. So one of the ways you can do that is by buying pieces of people. Right. Mike McDonald at Poker Shares does a great job of offering people a chance to, buy or sell certain players. But, when sites can do that within the client like that, I think creates a really great rooting interest. One of the other things I want to touch on too that GG Masters has been doing is they've been live streaming it on Twitch with hole cards up. We had Stapes, we had Matt Berkey, we had Christian Soto, a whole bunch of guys doing commentary live while you're watching the online event. Obviously not live, It's not relay because for the integrity of the game, but pretty awesome that you can watch it unfold all the way to the final table, which gets crazy too because they have a unique format for that as well.
Right. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's a phenomenal relationship that you're having with GG Poker. It's great that in this time where obviously poker is taking a huge back seat, that we're able to add this new incredible online series, $100 million guarantee, 18 circuit ring events, but 595 events. It's unfortunate that you won't be joining this go around, but like you said, there are the other ambassadors like Elke and Boris Becker that will be playing along.
Yeah, I mean, when everybody's streaming, I believe at ggpoker.tv, that'll give you a direct link to whoever's on Twitch streaming one of the various events. And if you want to become a streamer for GG2, we have we have openings, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
Yep. Daniel, it is always a pleasure to have you on the show. Stay safe, my friend. Be good, and really cross your fingers and cross my fingers that we'll be able to see each other soon.
Question for you: are you wearing pants?
Am I wearing pants? Yes, I am, sir. That's funny that you say it. They're not dress pants, but I am wearing pants.
I was gonna put on a suit and tie, but instead I'm in my undies and a GG Poker hoodie. But no, I haven't put on pants in a month.
Well, there you go. Fortunately, I have a decent sized backyard that I can do like chipping that you're talking about too. I try to hit 20, 30-yard pitch shots to practice, but hopefully not only we can get on the golf course soon, but we'll get back onto the felt as well. And I really appreciate you kicking off the 13th anniversary of the Bernard Lee Poker Show, my friend.
Well, congrats, my man. It's been 13 good years and 13 more happy ones for you.
I appreciate it. Daniel Negreanu here on the Bernard Lee Poker Show. Hope you enjoyed our interview. We'll have a lot more great interviews as we continue the 13th anniversary celebration. And as always, may you always go in with the best hand, and may you never get unlucky. Good night, everybody. Daniel, thanks so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, don't forget, people, to do the whole like and subscribe and all that jazz here at the bottom.